Ben Shapiro was recently on trigonometry. If you haven't seen the full conversation, you should do yourself a favor and listen to it because Ben is under quite a bit of volatile attacks, I should say, at the moment, because he was accused by Megyn Kelly. He was thrown under the bus by Megyn Kelly, who claims that Ben is her friend. So Megan's more than happy to criticize something that Ben said, even though it was true. Megan goes, Ben lied. So she's happy to do that, but she's not happy to call out any of the lies that Tucker Carlson has been saying, or even go after any of the lies, which is a massive amount of Candace Owens' lies, because they're both 800-pound gorillas, and Ben is just like going to forgive and move on by the looks of things. He hasn't made any statements, as far as I'm aware, about what Megyn Kelly said. I don't know if they've been in contact. We just don't know, but I'm pretty sure the internet is doing what the internet does best, and I made a video about how Ben did not lie. I made one yesterday, and I made another one today with a little bit more context for you all. And that's what brings me to this, right? So good segue, Jay. Well done. I'm getting good at this, guys. Ben Shapiro was on trigonometry, and context matters. Okay. It's very, very important, because in today's day and age, it's like we're getting inundated and it's like clickbait, rage bait almost. And I know titles, and I've explained that a number of times, but you get like these 50-second, sometimes 2-minute long clips, and that will be that. Like, you won't have too much more. They're meant to encourage you to watch the full thing. You'll see like a clip and go, oh, I like that. I want to hear more of what this person is saying. And usually I'll listen to the full interview on my run in the morning, walk, bike ride, whatever it is. And like, this is my not part-time, like, this is my side thing. Like, I don't do this like as my main thing, believe it or not. But it does take a lot of time to research and provide context for you all. And while I've been going after Tucker Carlson, and I've made a number of videos of all the lies and the gaslighting and all that stuff that he's been doing, and he's very, very good at it, by the way, very good at it. Another person that has been going on and explaining to people what Tucker Carlson has been doing is Ben Shapiro. And there's a moment in trigonometry that is actually brilliant, because it's Ben explaining to everyone, this is what Tucker Carlson is really like. Have a watch.
Very rarely says the thing that he wants to say out loud. A few times he will. Like, for example, in the Fuentes interview, he'll say that Christian Zionists have a brain disease, right? That's him actually saying the thing that he thinks, then sort of trying later to half buy it back as he realized he crossed a politically inconvenient line for him.
I mean, all people I know personally who I've seen like be seized by this brain virus, and they're not Jewish. Most of them are self-described Christians, and then the Christian Zionists who are, well, Christian Zionists. Like, what is that?
Right.
And I can just say for myself, I dislike them more than anybody. Because like, what? Because it's Christian heresy, and I'm offended by that as a Christian.
But mostly what he does is he has on people, and then that's fascinating. That's very interesting. Now, of course, Tucker is perfectly capable of carrying out a very adversarial interview, as he did with, for example, Ted Cruz. And so pretending that he's not doing that thing is, I think, insulting to the intelligence. And the right would not accept it in any other context. If a reporter has on Kamala Harris and asks her 0 difficult questions except how brat she is, then we are rightly going to assume that that reporter is pro-Kamala Harris, right? And it's not doing their actual journalistic job, and you can sort of intuit views that way. Guest selection is definitely a big one. How you treat your guests is a big one. We can sort of intuit the views. I think that the Tucker's general belief from looking at the way he has done his sort of foreign policy talk is that it's not just that America is overextended, it's that America is a sort of nefarious force in the world, and wherever American support for allies happens, then it must be the result of domestic manipulations, and that the most important thing right now is to essentially go autarkic, to bring, I think this is the most charitable read, to bring, American resources home, to not be involved in the world in any way. And most importantly, that anybody who opposes this agenda is a tool of a foreign agenda, or is a malign actor, which is the thing that differentiates, I think, some of how Tucker does his business from others. I think Tucker is very fond of using emotivism, where he attributes motive to people in order to in order to not even debunk the argument, but simply to just say, they're a bad person, they hate you, they want to hurt your children, and I despise them. I despise them comes up a lot on his show, which I've always found kind of strange. Like, I don't know why that's an argument. Why are your feelings even sort of relevant to the point that you're making? It's a sort of strange political take. I despise. I mean, who cares?
There's a lot there, right? So Ben, in the 2 minutes, 26-second clip that you guys saw, Ben is explaining Tucker Carlson's sort of way of doing things. And Tucker's way of doing things, he won't oftentimes say the thing that he's thinking. And when he does, you get those moments where he's saying that he despises Christian Zionists because apparently it's Christian heresy, even though Tucker hasn't actually read his Bible. He probably should. And Ben's called him out on that. And then also the fact that, well, he despises, that comes up quite a lot. So bringing emotion into foreign policy, probably not a great idea, but nevertheless, this whole notion from Tucker and from quite a few other people is they'll go, we're America first or we're Australia first. And then we just want to bring everything into the confines of America or even Australia, because we've got that happening here too. And we've got to deal with the only issues in Australia and in America, nothing else. We don't want to deal with anything that's going on in Israel. But it's funny to me because we can make deals with any other country, and we're fine with making deals and pacts with any other country. I mean, hell, Australia, and you won't hear many people go hard against China, even though China is a communist nation and we don't share the same ideals. Funny, we share more of the same ideals with Israel, but yet we do more deals with China than we do with Israel. Because, guys, the Australia first policy or the America first policy, everyone gets their knickers in a knot, as the saying goes, over this one country because they think this one country is horrible. And Tucker, his whole notion, same with countless people on the radical right, and even Nick Fuentes now, it's always, I'm going to be America first and America first only. We shouldn't be supporting people that are in different countries, or we just shouldn't be supporting different countries. And that's, to me, insane. Because what happens when, God forbid, there is a war? Who are you going to go to for help? No one. So it's all good and well for you to ostracize and cancel and not want to have other countries to support, but it's always Israel, right? It's always Israel. Derangement syndrome is actually a real thing. It rots away the brain. I would much rather have Israel as my ally than China, to be honest with you, but that's just me personally. It seems that because of what Israel did in Gaza, lots of people are just turning their backs on Israel, but we know that the Bible said that was going to happen. And I'm waiting for America to do that. I'm just waiting, sitting and biding my time. But getting back to Tucker, what Ben Shapiro said, he's right about analyzing Tucker and the way Tucker says things and does things. And if we can just take a moment and zoom out for a little bit and see of late the guests that Tucker's had on and the fact that the interviews that he's been having are just all softball. And it seems like he will go after Ted Cruz. He will do a harder interview against Ted Cruz, but go soft on Nick Fuentes. And like Ben said, it's almost as if like, well, you agree with them. If you're not willing to push back, you more likely agree with them. Why aren't you pushing back at all? Makes no sense to me. But that's the way they do things nowadays. It's just whatever can get them clicks, right? It's not about doing the right thing. It's about, okay, my audience is going to love this. So I'm going to have it soft on Nick, but then go hard on Ted because my audience hates Ted. But they love Nick. So if they see me criticizing Nick, then I'm going to lose and they're going to come after me. It's ridiculous. Or they'll just come after Ben because Ben knows what he's talking about. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.